Have you ever been told that a nursing home is just what happens when you get old? That once you can't keep up with the house, once your knees give out, once your kids are too busy, there's really only one place left to go. Here's what the numbers actually say. Over 11 million Americans over the age of 65 now live alone. And for many of them, the default answer is a nursing home. For the median cost of a nursing home in this country is over $9,000 a month. In states like Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Jersey, it can go well past $15,000. And that's for a semi-private room, not even your own space. And yet for most families, a nursing home still feels like the only option. But what if I told you it should be the last one, not the first? But I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking, well, what else is there? I can't live alone forever. My kids have their own lives, and I don't have the money for some luxury retirement village. You're right. That's the hardest part. Feeling stuck between options that don't really feel like options at all. So today, I want to walk you through 3 alternatives that thousands of seniors are already choosing. Real places, real people, real costs, not theories, not dreams. If this matters to you or someone you love, hit subscribe and leave a like. Let's begin. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Dorothy. She's 74. She was a librarian for over 30 years in Portland, Oregon. Her husband passed away 6 years ago, and since then, she's been living alone in the same house they shared for decades. Her 2 kids live out of state. They call her every Sunday, and they love her, but they have their own families, their own mortgages, their own problems. They can't move back, and Dorothy won't ask them to. At first, Dorothy tried staying with her daughter in Denver for a few months, but she felt like a guest in someone else's life. She couldn't cook what she wanted, couldn't watch her shows, couldn't go for a walk without someone worrying. She told her daughter, "I love you, but I need my own front door. I need my own." Then she tried a live-in home care aide. It cost her about $5,500 a month. That's someone who helps with meals, medications, light cleaning. But the aide changed 3 times in 5 months. Every time Dorothy had to start over, explain her routines, her allergies, where things go. It was exhausting, so her kids suggested a nursing home. Dorothy agreed to try it. She lasted 3 days. She said the hallways smelled like cleaning products and loneliness. She shared a room with a stranger who had the TV on 24 hours a day. Nobody called her by name. She was room 214, bed B. And here's the thing. Dorothy's experience isn't unusual. According to a federal report, 90% of nursing homes in the U.S. report staffing shortages. 79% of nursing home residents are in facilities that fall below the recommended staffing levels. During the day, one aide might be responsible for 7 or 8 residents. At night, that number can go up to 14 or more. It's not that the staff doesn't care. Most of them care deeply. There just aren't enough of them. So what did Dorothy do? She found something most people have never heard of. It's called an adult family home. An adult family home is a regular house in a regular neighborhood. It's licensed to care for 2 to 6 residents, and a trained caregiver actually lives there. That means 24-hour support, home-cooked meals, a shared living room, and your own bedroom. The average cost is between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. That's roughly half of what a nursing home charges, and in many states, Medicaid can help cover part of the cost. I came across a comment from a woman on Reddit who said, "My mother moved into an adult family home after a fall. She was terrified, but within 2 weeks, she was helping the caregiver make breakfast every morning. She said it felt like living with a friend. That's the difference. It's not a facility. It's a home that happens to have help." Now, adult family homes aren't perfect. Availability varies by state. and not every home is well run. You have to visit, ask questions, check reviews. But for someone like Dorothy, someone who wants care without losing her identity, it's a real option. The second alternative is something called senior co-housing, and this one is a little different. In a co-housing community, you have your own private unit, your own kitchen, your own bathroom, your own front door, but you also share common spaces, a big kitchen for group dinners, a garden, a workshop, a library. The key difference is that the residents themselves design and run the community. There's no corporate landlord, no management company. Decisions are made together and everyone contributes. One of the most well-known examples is Silver Sage Village in Boulder, Colorado. It opened in 2007 with 16 units, all for residents 55 and older. They share meals a few times a week. They check on each other, and they've built something that feels less like housing and more like a neighborhood that actually works. And here's the financial part that surprises people. Senior co-housing can reduce monthly living costs by 40 to 50% compared to living alone. Shared utilities, shared maintenance, bulk, group insurance plans, it all adds up. I spent some time reading through forums from people who live in these communities, and one thing kept coming up. They didn't move there because they had to. They moved there because they wanted to, because they were tired of being alone in a house full of memories. I think there's something powerful about that. Choosing community not out of desperation but out of desire. The limitation, of course, is availability. Senior co-housing communities are still relatively rare, mostly concentrated in Western states, and they require a certain personality. You have to be willing to participate, attend meetings, be a neighbor in the fullest sense. But for the right person, it can be transformative. The third alternative is perhaps the most accessible. It's called the village model. Here's how it works. You stay in your own home. You don't move anywhere, but you join a membership-based community, usually run by a non-profit, that connects you with volunteers and services. The annual fee is typically between $200 and $500 a year. And for that, you get access to things like rides to doctor appointments, help with groceries, home repairs, technology support, and regular social events. There are now over 350 villages operating across the United States. Some are in big cities, some are in small towns, and they're growing because the concept is simple. You don't have to leave your life behind to get help living it. An AP article I read described a woman who called herself an elder orphan. No spouse, no children, no siblings nearby. She said joining a village was the first time in years she didn't feel invisible. The village model doesn't replace medical care or full-time assistance. If you need round-the-clock help, this isn't the answer. But for the millions of seniors who are mostly independent and just need a little support, a ride here, a conversation there, someone to call if the power goes out, it can be the difference between thriving and just surviving. So let's put it all together. If you need full-time care in a warm, small setting, an adult family home might be your answer. If you want to live independently but never feel alone, senior co-housing could be worth exploring. And if you want to stay right where you are but need a hand now and then, the village model is already out there waiting. None of these are perfect. All of them require research, planning, and honest conversations. But they exist, and most people don't know that. I think the real tragedy isn't that seniors end up in nursing homes. It's that so many of them end up there believing it was the only choice. It's not. And before I let you go today, there's a passage I read recently that I keep coming back to. This is from Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl was an Austrian psychiatrist. He survived 4 Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. He lost his wife, his parents, his brother, nearly everyone he loved, and yet in the middle of that unimaginable suffering, he noticed something. The people who survived weren't always the strongest or the youngest. They were the ones who held on to a sense of meaning. He wrote this: "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." I sat with that line for a long time because I think that's what Dorothy chose. That's what the 93-year-old in those comments chose. That's what every person who refuses to give up their independence is choosing. Not the easiest path, not the cheapest, but their own. Frankl also wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Maybe that's what getting older really is. Not a problem to solve, but a challenge to meet on your own terms. If this meant something to you today, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. I'll see you in the next